All right. Hello, I'm Loni. I am here with a friend of mine that's helped me through a lot through my ins and outs of businesses, creating businesses, etc. Jud Kite with, look at this, Killer Kite Productions.
Hey, the marquee.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to Jud about kind of the evolution of the Philosopher game since that's going to go live on Kickstarter May 25th, 2001. And my phone's ringing. But I want to talk about all the other stuff you do. So you want to just tell us about you and your company?
Sure. My name's Jud Kite. Killer Kite Productions has been in some form or another, whether just freelance on the side of a day job or my main gig since '99. I first made my foray into full-time freelance back in '99. Made it through a good solid year and a half, was doing really well, and then got into September 11th, 2001. And it wasn't, anything I was doing, the world freaked out. And businesses were shutting their doors, which was shutting my pocketbook. And I had to make ends meet somehow. So I started busting shoplifters at Old Navy, which was about the only thing I could find, like spur of the moment. And so I went into the retail side first, and it was just killing me. But I found the busting shoplifters part, the loss prevention part, paid a little more, better hours. I could kind of finagle it myself, but I was still doing artwork on the side. I did not want that to die, and I'm glad I did. So I've kind of mustered through that. And then in 2003, I got an art director position with a company called Specialized Publications. I art directed 3 different magazines monthly. Well, 2 monthly, 1 was every other month. 2 scuba magazines and a restaurant magazine. Restaurant Startup and Growth is still in print right now. And with the COVID-19 crisis that we're all familiar with, they were able to actually switch their business model of writing instead of how to start your restaurant to how to keep it surviving, which was very smart. And so they didn't just panic and fold. They were really active in keeping it alive and in print and relevant. Yeah, I'm going to say about 7 years ago, I felt like I was at the top rung of where I could be in that company. And I just decided I had enough freelance built up through Killer Kite that I'd make the jump one more time and try it. And here I am 7 years later. But I still have the restaurant magazine as a client. I was able to keep it and bring it with me since I've designed pretty much every page of that magazine since its inception. I kind of feel like I have some ownership to it. So I was able to bring that with me as a client, and they still, kind of give me some side work on top of the monthly publication with that. And I do all kinds of stuff. I do board games design. I do all kinds of brand and identity concept design, publications. I don't think print's ever going to die. So I think there's going to be a relative use for it some way or another. So, I pretty much, if it needs to be created, I can come up with a way to create it.
Yeah, so when I was looking for someone for my first logo, I had a few people gave me some names, and you were one of the names. I don't know if I ever told you how I got you, picked you, but then I was kind of investigating some of these folks, and what sold me for you was that, oh gosh, that brewery in Kansas, like your design for the beer.
Oh yeah.
What's the name of the brewery?
Well, so the Red Crow is the brewery that I designed. They kind of started out of their garage, and when they were ready to go and have a building made, they had started with somebody else and they couldn't do it. So then I got referred to them by a relative of theirs, I think, and kind of took the logo and massaged it so it would be a little stronger, and then basically have created their entire look, all of their labels and all of the branding, the merchandise, all kinds of stuff. It's been a lot of fun. That's like one of the clients I've had from the ground up.
Oh yeah, I love the stuff you did with them. What's their name? Something Hawk?
Red Crow.
Red Crow, yeah.
Red Crow. They were in Spring Hill, and now they're in Olathe, in their new location.
Yeah, I need to go out there and try it. I love craft beer, local craft beer. I just haven't made it there. Too busy, but yeah. What's your favorite?
So I'm a sour guy, and with summer being around the corner, aside from the snow, sour beers are my favorite, and all of their beers are named after female members of their family. And,
I remember that.
Essie is their sour, and so if it's on tap, I'm getting it. As a side note, I also co-own a comic convention called Fountain City MiniCon, and we had our first show the year before COVID. We had to cancel everything last year, but we have a show coming up in July, which will be our technically second show. But before that, to kind of get everybody energized, we're doing a pop-up con at Red Crow, and they're doing a collaboration beer with us that's going to be a sour called It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's a Sour IPA.
Love it. So where is this Comic-Con? Where's it going to be at?
May 15th at Red Crow.
May 15th or?
At Red Crow.
At Red Crow. All right. That's right before the Kickstarter starts, so maybe I'll come out.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah. And it's 2021 if somebody's watching this a few years from now. So yeah, so I that's how I contacted you and you met with me, and then I printed out the logos you worked on. The first one was Lotus Key Homes, the real estate one, and I appreciate your patience because like I hand draw what I want and I send it to you and like, no, change this one thing and change this other one thing. And
as far as like clients that I've dealt with throughout the years, I've had all kinds. And you're very patient with me as well, because much like any other creative, I want some say-so. That being said, you're the most like art director client I've ever had. Like you have it in your mind.
Yeah, I have a vision.
Yeah, and I think it's just you're missing the part that's from here to here, and I help you with that. But I have to give you kudos. Like when you see something that I might tweak on, or it's not exactly the font you picked because readability or whatever, you're open to it and you don't just like, nope, that's not my vision, you're fired or whatever. You work I feel like we work pretty well together, hand in hand.
Yeah, I think so too. I just feel bad for you. I just feel like I wish I had like something I could stick in my head and just give it to you and put it in yours. Like, see what I'm trying to say. Because I'm not being able to, I cannot verbalize sometimes exactly what I'm wanting.
Yeah.
We get it.
Our next project, the Milo cards, I'm going to have a email meeting or another Zoom meeting where we talk about it, because reading your description, I'm like, I don't know how much time this is going to take, but we can cross that bridge when we get to it.
We can cross that bridge. Yeah. I'll show you some others. So this is the Clean KC.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, this is the one where I kept saying I want it at an angle, and you were like, I think you saw it right next to each other, but I was picturing like two kind of circles, And yeah, so that turned out really cool. I really love that. We actually had a cleanup event last weekend.
Nice.
This is what I drew for Milo Farm, and this is what we ended up. So that was pretty close.
Pretty close. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, you're using what you use as your area, which is a sheet of paper. So that's your parameters, and that makes complete sense. I mean, if you think about it, when kids draw, they draw what they see. The sky is up here, the grass is down here. What's in that middle, they usually leave white. That doesn't make sense to them that the sky and the grass meet in real life. So they draw what they see. You're drawing what you see and within the parameters of that piece of paper. So I, in turn, with my knowledge of print or design or just like aesthetic, I want to try to contain it a little more just so that it's going to fit in a multitude of places. A business card, a t-shirt, a poster, the back of a t-shirt is a sponsorship, so it's still readable only at like an inch, you know. And so instead of sprawling everywhere, try to condense it, give it a shape, and then go from there. That's my first thing that I think about on any design is how can this one item, this one logo, or this one visual be used in a multitude of size and shapes, or one color versus 20 color, you know?
Yeah.
And one color be as effective as the 20 color, you know, stuff like that.
And that's why you're the professional, because I don't think about it that way. I just think of like visual, what trying to get across an image that will relay a story in one snapshot.
Right. And you do more. I mean, that's great, because that's actually something I wish more clients had, was that I want this to tell a story or have a meaning or be about, you know, a piece of me or whatever, versus some people are just like, I don't know, my name's, you know, Milo Farms, just come up with something, you know. So you help me to, as far as that goes. I mean, I'm not a mind reader. As a designer, I can come up with ideas that I think aesthetically will look great and get your company name out there. But, you know, Milo Farms, it's not a farm per se. It's not like the farm I grew up on where you've got
animals,
cattle raising, but you do have animals, but they're more for fun and recreation and petting, versus like my dad's Kite Farms, you know, raising commercial beef cattle. So there you go. You know, you could have just said do Milo Farms, and I could have done something with a barn or, you know, went down that road, and then that would have been completely wrong, you know?
Yeah, no, because it's a campground and a spiritual retreat center. It's not no cattle. Though there's cattle in the adjacent properties that you can go pet. Yeah, and the big
they are smart.
Bird.
Cattle are really smart animals. And the bird mascot, you told me that story. I like that a lot.
Yeah, so that was like a last minute thing, because we had this red tanager. I named her Cheryl because that was my mom's name, but of course he was a pretty bird, so he was a boy. But anyway, the boy named Cheryl, and he would sing. He's a songbird, so yeah, he would sing to the guests and the campers all last summer. I was like, we got to get Cheryl on this logo because she's our mascot, and that was kind of a last minute thing. And I thought, I just felt you rolling your eyes, like what is this crazy woman wanting this bird? But I'm glad you accommodated that.
It's fine. I don't roll my eyes. I just, there are times, I admit, where I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to fit all this in. Sometimes it feels like I've got 20 pounds of potatoes and only a 10-pound bag. But I mean, we work pretty well together in getting it to fit, you know?
Yeah. So then that rolls around to actually Spiral, you helped came up with a quick one here for the Philosopher. And yeah, so I, like a few days before Christmas, just had this idea in the middle of the night, and it ran with it. And I think you were one of the first people that I contacted. I think I contacted you like the week after. It was like the end of December. And I was like, would you be willing to do, I've got this idea. Are you willing to do card game? And again, I was thinking, I bet he thinks I'm crazy.
I just, the being over on this side and like meeting you as a real estate agent, and then starting your own real estate agency, and then now a card game, and then a farm, you know, like, all right, I guess I'm just not going to be surprised by what's next down the road.
Yeah, I have no telling what's next. But anyway, this thing I am so excited about. So yeah, the font and like, so like it just, this is what I kind of drew. I drew the sacred geometry and the font with the word philosopher. And like, this was one of the quickest ones you got this out of my head almost immediately.
That one was one of our quickest like turnarounds as far as like approval on draft.
Yeah, I mean, I think the changes were just, spiral's my symbol, so and the red's my color, so the red spiral, we had to add that. But I so love this. This is so rocking cool. In fact, I've had a few people say, like, before I even show them the game, like, man, that's a cool logo. They really like this. So, yeah. But the game, huh?
I'm glad to hear that. That's great.
Yeah. Good job.
Well, some of the stuff that I put out, backing up just a bit, I'm not your typical business as far as like, just pay me to do work. I give a crap. Like, I want you to be like forever happy with the designs I do. I want my clients to be forever happy, because I feel like if they're forever happy with their poster I did, or with their brand, or with the multi-piece campaign we worked on, whatever it was, that they're going to be more apt to be like, you need to get this guy because, blah, 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 versus, and he just slapdash something so he could get his $50 or whatever, I'm not that guy.
Well, you're building loyalty. Like, I kept coming back to you. So, I mean,
I appreciate
it. That's what you do when you're understanding and patient and want the best thing for the client. You'll get them.
I'm not a mind, but I mean, like I said, I don't know exactly what you want upon description for the most part. But I mean, aside from you, because you are very descriptive, but your average client, like I said, they come with an idea or a kernel, and it's my job to water it and plant it and make it grow. But I might hit it pretty quickly on the first or second round, or it might take me a month, like I just don't know. Will just bear with me and be patient, and we'll get there.
Yeah. Well, I've got an example of this. Okay, so the Philosopher, this, like I showed you, this was the logo, and this was what I sent him for. This is the back of the topic card. So the game plays where there's topic cards and viewpoint cards, and it's kind of played like apples to apples, and somebody lays down a topic, but these topics are not your apples to apples topics. They're deep, they're to give like interesting, meaningful conversation. So consciousness, for instance, is a topic, and you lay it down and everybody puts your viewpoint and what they think the philosopher, that's the guy that got the topic card, what he'll pick, either though that's what he believes or he thinks funny, or, there's something he'll relate to it. Anyway, so that's kind of the game. So this is what I sent you, Jud. Like, I want a stack of books because philosophy, and I always think stars, because like when you're thinking, like out there, like make it like expansive. So expand into the universe kind of thing. So books and universe, and then I wanted a little trim around it, a border. And this is what we got between the two. Pretty good. And you got the.
I'm pretty proud of it. And just to tell the audience watching, my thought process behind it. I like the book idea. And I think I originally brought in books that might have been stacked behind it, but it just got a little too muddy for me. And so making the books more of a bottom like anchor for the design, and then the border coming out of that made for a perfect frame. And then Philosopher at the top, and then Topic in the middle, just so, because just like going into a museum, you're going to look at about 3 to 4 feet instead of 9. So you want your main visual to be at about 3 or 4 feet. So that's the first thing you see. Same thing with the card. You're going to look at the middle of the card subconsciously instead of the top or the bottom. So that's why I put Topic there, because the consumer already knows they have the Philosopher game.
The Philosopher game, yeah. And this is the viewpoint one. It's kind of the same. It's got it's a sunrise is what I wanted with a stack of books. So I like I don't remember if it was you or I that picked the brighter. I'm glad we picked a brighter than what I had here. The sunrise with more blue and teal in it. Yeah. I
like the rays that were coming up, and the sun. And, between you and I, we changed the location of those rays within the parameter of the card 2 or 3 different times. But I think once we struck it, we struck it.
Yeah, it's nice. And this is the front side again. I showed that again. That's one of the topics. So then these design some. This is what we have for prototypes on the booster pack so far. So I love the colors. It really stands out. And like, so the relationship ones.
And it helps that your son was able to add those 2 cents in on the design of the boxes as well. I'm not a gamer. I had no idea. I thought we were on the right track with color coding the whole thing. And then where he steps in and was like, no, don't do that.
Yeah,
okay.
I get it. Yeah, because topic cards, you don't want, booster packs, you wanted them to integrate within the main deck, not stand out on this side. But on this side, then it's easy, because we played this weekend, and I can't wait to get you copies of it so you can play it. I want to see what you think of it, Jud.
Yeah.
But it's easy to put back, so you mix all the boosters in with the primary deck, and you just look at the was this the back or the fronts? The fronts, and you just separate them by color, and then you know which booster deck they go in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first I've seen a together box. That looks pretty sharp.
Yeah. Okay, so there's and I love the color of the metaphysical. So it's like a bluish green, and then religion and Out of This World is one of my favorites, because I love crazy topics like aliens and fun space stuff. But I haven't got in the For Fun one you just did, and the history one. Those are still in order. But yeah, I think they look really professional.
I think they look great. It's always fun to see, leaving my monitor to getting into actual production stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That part never gets old. I've done this for over 20 some odd years, and I still get giddy when I see stuff in the wild,
Yeah, well, I can't wait to get it to you for sure. And this is the mat. The mat's really vivid. And it's...
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that turned out great.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I didn't have a template for that one, so I was just kind of guessing upon size. But the new one I sent you should be fine.
Yeah, cool. So...
That looks great.
I know. Perfect, exciting. I love it. I want to thank you for all the work you do for me, and
my pleasure. I do have a return question for you though. So you had this idea, you woke up, you hit me up, we've been doing all this work. What's the next step for Philosopher?
So Philosopher will be on Kickstarter campaign, which is a whole nother beast in itself. Oh my gosh, it's like a full-time job. I'm so building a page and getting all the interest in it. So May 25th, we're going live, May 25th, 2021. It'll go for 30 days. There's all kinds of like add-ons. So the add-ons will be the mat, the boosters, a box, a little plaque. And then, so I'm hoping it'll go really well. And then after that, we're going to do retail. We're going to be in bricks and mortar. Hopefully I'm going to try to get it out in Amazon and online stores. But I think the Kickstarter rollout will introduce it to the world. And also those folks, those backers, will have the opportunity to give us feedback. So if they say, well, this red is too red or whatever, I think, you know, they can only but help this product.
Yeah, with that, I don't know if you want to edit this part out of the interview or not, but take it from me as far as like when you submit your baby to the world, some of the feedback might, you know, so toughen your skin up a little bit.
Yeah.
In case you're that type of person where it affects you, but also some of the comments that are negative, people just want to be negative. So they might say, that red's too red, but personally they hate the color red. So take it with a grain of salt. Don't change your entire business plan because some asshole said, what's philosopher, you know, or whatever. Like, F them. If you're getting primarily good feedback, don't let the one or two jack-offs mess it up.
Oh, thank you. That is so true. I mean, and you got to bless the jack-offs, because it's like the yin and yang thing. Like, you know, you wouldn't ever try to improve yourself if you didn't have those people giving you that critical feedback. So, you know, it's a
yes and no. I mean, some of it is just the internet world today with social media. They have a distance now to where they can be keyboard warriors and you know, try to destroy your psyche all they want, but you know, they would never say that to your face because who wants to get punched? And it's the truth. I mean, do not read YouTube comments. They're just, they make you depressed about the world. So just my advice to you, being in this realm for almost 30 years, yeah, thick skin, don't let it get to you. Don't let the bastards get you down. And take it with a grain of salt, because I guarantee you people want to punch you in the gut just because they can. And they have no reason, you know. So that's that. But I think you're onto something good. And you know, I'm not just saying that because you hired me. I'm sincere. And I think you're gonna be surprised about the feedback you get. And hopefully, knock on wood, you're gonna meet your Kickstarter before you even like realize it's out there.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be amazing. Yep.
What I think's great is I think you've got a niche game with the whole I don't lack a better terminology, but the whole astrological, metaphysical,
esoteric.
Yeah, that aspect of the game versus just, you know, roll the dice and hit 3 spaces. So twofold, I think your plan of attack by having that niche goes to like-minded people, A, and then B, people like me that were unfamiliar, but because of you, I'm, you know, learning about it. It might strike an interest that way too.
That's my goal, is to like kind of broaden everyone's horizons, and not just about other topics, but about their friends and family. You know, we don't know much about those. And if you play Monopoly, you're still not going to know much about.
He's in the cliff of the board because you keep landing on the damn boardwalk.
Right. Right. All right. Thank you.
Oh,
I got to tell you,
much for the time. Hey, look at that.
I know. I love this logo, by the way. This is Jud's other Killer Kite logo, and this one's.
The one she held up before was one of my very first logos, and I have now like redone that one and cleaned it up, so it's back in the live. But the little kid one is my standard logo as well. And that kid, his name's Hayden. He's the son of my friend Terry that now live in Wyoming. And in his first year and a half, he would just make that face all the time. And I was like, you got to give me a photo of that because I've got plans. And so it's been my logo for a long time with the tagline, other design is icky poo.
But how old is he now?
7, 8, 9, something like that. No, I think 9. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thank you. So
Yeah.
Philosopher, May 25th on Kickstarter, and then Jud Kite, Killer Kite Productions.
Killer Kite Productions. I don't have a website up right now. It's been forever in rebuild mode, but I just work, and now I teach drums at School of Rock, so my nights are kind of taken away. But if you're interested, if you need some work done, logo or otherwise, Facebook /Killer Kite Productions. My whole portfolio's up. You can peruse at your leisure, see what I do. And, I'm pretty reasonable. I'm a one-man show, so you'll get ad agency quality and not an ad agency price tag.
That's a good motto. All right.
Well, my overhead's low. It's just whatever pizza I need.
All right, Jud, thank you for your time. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And we'll just, look for everyone's success. And
here's to a better, brighter 2021 and moving on to 2022.
Yep. Days are looking better.
I think so. I think we're around the corner.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.